Lance Stroll has finally addressed the constant online attacks that have followed him through his Formula One career. The Aston Martin driver spoke openly on the team's YouTube channel about how he copes with the negativity that often surrounds his name. He said he tries to treat the noise for what it is, just noise. If he pays attention to it, it can get under his skin. So instead, he leans on people he trusts and cares about, and he chooses to value their opinions over whatever strangers say on social media. The 26-year-old Canadian has carried heavier criticism than most drivers on the current grid. A big reason is his family link to the team. His father, Lawrence Stroll, owns Aston Martin. That fact has fueled constant claims that Lance only has a seat because of money and not because of skill. It is a narrative that has followed him for years, no matter what he does on track. Even when he has good weekends, the noise rarely stops for long. Stroll's way of dealing with it is quite calm and measured. He said he tries to live in his own world, not in the world of online comments. He knows criticism will always be there. In his view, people can be very quick to judge in this sport. 2 strong races and you're praised. 2 bad ones and the mood flips completely. He has learned to focus on the voices that matter and to ignore the rest. He also keeps a simple rule for himself. Don't take criticism from someone you wouldn't take advice from. That guiding idea has helped him stay balanced and continue in Formula One despite the volume of hate directed at him. It is not that he pretends mistakes do not exist. It is more that he wants honest feedback from people who are close to his work and truly understand it. There is a big difference between helpful criticism and empty insults. What many online critics miss is how close Stroll has actually been to his famous teammate this season. In 2025, the 2-time world champion Fernando Alonso has only 4 more points than Stroll. Alonso sits on 36 points in 12th place in the standings, and Stroll is 13th with 32. This narrow gap matters because Alonso is widely viewed as one of the very best on the grid. The difference between them in races has often been smaller than the headlines suggest. Where Stroll has found it harder is qualifying. Alonso's experience and one-lap speed can show clearly on Saturdays. But on Sundays, Stroll has many times used strategy, race pace and opportunities to bring home good results. And this year hasn't been easy for either driver. After a strong 2024, Aston Martin took a step back. Instead of fighting for podiums, both drivers have been battling in the midfield for points. That kind of season tends to put a magnifying glass on whoever receives the most criticism, which in this team is usually Stroll. Stroll's journey in Formula One began in 2017 with Williams. He made an early splash by taking a podium in Azerbaijan in his rookie season. One of his standout performances came at the 2020 Turkish Grand Prix, where he grabbed pole position in very tricky wet conditions. For a while, that day quieted some of his doubters and showed he can shine when the conditions are difficult. Across 9 seasons, he has collected 3 podiums, 1 pole, and 324 career points. Those numbers are not elite, but they are steady and respectable. Still, solid is a hard label to carry when people keep saying you only have your drive because your father owns the team. The debate around Stroll is unusual in modern Formula One. Many drivers bring sponsors with them, but few have a parent who actually owns the team. Lawrence Stroll bought the old Force India outfit when it hit trouble in 2018, then changed it to Racing Point and later to Aston Martin. Because of that, questions about the security of Lance's seat appear more often than with other drivers. Critics say his place is safe no matter how he performs. Supporters argue that when he has a competitive car, he delivers decent results and helps the team. Both ideas exist at the same time, and both add pressure. The truth is more complex than one simple story. And the mental side of dealing with that tension is something Lance has had to learn over time. He says the tough days have taught him the most. People love to talk about the high points, podiums and pole positions, but he believes the losses and the struggles are where real growth happens. That is where you learn about yourself, accept where you are, and figure out how to get better. He admits that wanting every day to be perfect is natural, but sport does not work that way. There will always be ups and downs, and accepting that before the weekend starts helps him stay steady. Looking ahead, 2026 could be a turning point. New technical rules are coming, and they could shake up the order. Aston Martin has invested heavily to be ready for that reset. The big headline is the arrival of Adrian Newey from Red Bull, long considered the best aerodynamic mind in Formula One. The team has also brought in Enrico Cardile from Ferrari to strengthen the technical group. On top of that, their factory at Silverstone has been expanded and modernised to a level that can compete with the top teams. These moves show that Lawrence Stroll is serious about building a team that can fight at the front. For Lance, that future cut of the sport may be a make or break period. If Aston Martin produces a car capable of winning and he cannot match what it can do, then the criticism will grow louder than ever. But if he rises with the car and fights at the front, it would go a long way toward proving he deserves to be there on merit. The driver market adds another layer of pressure. Fernando Alonso is expected to retire after 2026. If Aston Martin becomes a top team, they will attract interest from other big names who might want that seat. That means Lance could face strong internal competition if the team wants a championship-level lineup. He knows that results will matter more than ever in the next couple of years. Over time, Stroll has shown more maturity in the way he handles attention. Earlier in his career, moments of frustration were easier to see. Now his message is clearer. Trust a small circle, listen to honest voices, and let the rest go. Surviving 9 seasons in Formula One is an achievement by itself. Many highly rated drivers have had much shorter careers. That longevity suggests that teams see value in what he brings, even if the wider public does not always agree. His support system has been key to that stability. Beyond his family, he works closely with engineers, trainers, and advisors who tell him the truth about his performance. They help him identify what he must improve and what criticism he can safely ignore. Having that filter matters in a sport where opinions from outside can drown out the facts inside the garage. It also aligns with his simple rule about whose feedback is worth hearing. The money side of his career cannot be separated from the story, but it is not as simple as people make it. Yes, his father's ownership offers security, but it also brings different pressure. Lawrence Stroll has invested hundreds of millions into this project and expects progress. Lance faces scrutiny not only from fans and media, but from his own family and the team's ambitions. That dynamic can be both protective and demanding. Aston Martin's recent form has highlighted both the good and the bad in Lance's driving. When the car is in a sweet spot, he can bring home strong points. When it is tricky, he can sometimes struggle to find the last bit of pace. That inconsistency feeds criticism, but it also shows where he can work to improve. The team's major hiring and facility upgrades suggest they believe he can grow with the project rather than hold it back. Adrian Newey's decision to join appears tied to the long-term plan at Aston Martin. That plan will now meet reality. If the car becomes a contender, the pressure on Lance will multiply, not shrink. Every session will be judged more closely. Success would finally dull the constant accusations. Failure would make them deafening and could make his position unstable, even with family ties. For now, Stroll's strategy is simple. Listen to people you trust, work on the weak spots, and treat the online noise as background. The next 2 seasons will show whether that mindset can carry him into the top group of drivers or leave him exposed. If he fights at the front in 2026, the old debate about nepotism will fade away. If he cannot keep up while his teammate shines, the backlash will only grow. Either way, the biggest test of his career is coming soon, and everyone will be watching. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.